So I have two of these 3D lighthouse pictures. That's the only Google search that returned any result even close to what these things are, so that's what I'm going to call them. They supposedly light up, but since all the electrical stuff is hot glued behind these strips of, I don't know, like leather stuff, I'm not even going to bother with it. Plus I'm going to end up painting over the little fiber optic threads that would light up, so I'm just going to ignore the lighting altogether. I started off by wiping these down with 50% isopropyl alcohol, and it took the paint clean off. You can see in the pictures what they looked like before I cleaned them off. And then I drew on the kind of basic idea of what I want for each picture. One will have a Loch Ness Monster plesiosaur creature, and the other one will have a Kraken-like octopus creature. So I'm going to try to sculpt on these with Apoxie Sculpt. I haven't used this before, so it's kind of an experiment, I guess. So basically I'm just applying the Apoxie Sculpt over my drawing, and then I'm smoothing it out with a silicone color shaper tool. And then it's just a matter of sculpting in detail with various tools. I also add some depth and dimension to the waves where these creatures meet the water, just so it doesn't look like they're out of place and that they blend in with the rest of the picture. I wait 24 hours for the Apoxie Sculpt to fully cure, and I really wanted to start painting these, but quickly realized that I needed to prime them with something because I'd be putting on coats and coats and coats to get a solid opaque color. So I used some white gesso and just went over the whole thing probably 3 or 4 times. During that process, I noticed I missed adding in one of the waves to cover up one of the tentacles, so I used some Milliput Superfine, which was white to begin with, and I just sculpted in that wave that I missed. And then I went on to paint. For the Kraken, I went with a regular sort of orange octopus color. And I painted the eyes a dark yellow. I started painting the sky a light blue and made the waves a darker shade of blue. But I thought this scene would work better with the stormy sky, so I made a mixture of purple and gray and went back over the sky. And with the stippling method, I painted in some clouds with a slightly lighter purplish gray. And I apply a red wash to the octopus to add a little bit more depth to it instead of it being just one flat color. And with a lighter blue, I highlight the crest of the waves. Then I clean up all the land elements, the rocks, the lighthouse, the trees. And I hit those with a mix of brown and black washes. I did pretty much all the same things to the other picture. It was definitely my least favorite of the two, so I didn't record as much footage for this one. But I painted Nessie a dark green color with a lighter green, almost sort of tan underbelly. And I made the sky a more pleasant light blue color with some fluffy, lighter white clouds with a bit of purple added in, just so they weren't monochrome. and I kept the water a flat dark blue color. Once I was content with how I had painted these, I went back over the frame portion of these pictures with a tan color and cleaned up the inner edge as well. Then I sprayed both of them with a quick coat of Krylon matte finish sealer just to make sure the paint wouldn't run. When I apply a few coats of Minwax Polyurethane sealer, I just brush it on. You get the idea? Then I hang these things back up on the wall and I call them done. Have you seen any other kinds of these 3D sculpted pictures before? Let me know in the comments below if there's a search term that I need to put in that'll yield better results for more of these types of things. And let me know what you thought of this project in general. I imagine you could make your own if you had a spare picture frame and maybe a piece of MDF cut to size, and then you could just sculpt on the MDF. That might be something to try in the future. I've got more monster related stuff on the way, so subscribe if you want to see what that is. And if you enjoyed this video or it gave you some ideas for creative projects of your own, running bulldog the like button. Alright, stay safe and I'll catch you later.